Hello everybody, welcome back to another review. Another review on a Sony Pictures animation movie. Sorry I didn't get to the DreamWorks and Sony Pictures animation movies last week. I was busy with things. I was actually working on rebuilding my Star Wars set. Yeah, I have a Star Wars set. You know, I've been trying to rebuild because it's been apart for a long time now. I should have had it done years ago, but I went through things in high school, and then I had things through, I've been having to go through things, during the pandemic and all that, but I've been trying to get it put back together. Been making a lot of progress on it, but I've been trying to post videos at the same time and all that. But I was gonna post these videos on Friday, but I ran out of time. I went to see Kung Fu Panda 4 theaters. So I'll tell you guys my thoughts on that movie when I do the review. It's gonna be a while, but yes, if you guys haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you guys are still subscribed to my channel, because I've been noticing people have been get unsubscribed on other people's channels, and I think I've noticed that on my channel too. Some people might not be interested in my videos too, which is fine, but I mean, I've had people comment on some of my videos. I had one person apparently on my SpongeBob Xbox video told me about I'm a lame Xbox player or something like that, which I'm like, what? What does that have to do with anything? I mean, I play more Nintendo stuff than Xbox, so I just like, I know that's kind of off topic about this movie here, but it's true. Yeah, I've got like people commenting on stuff like that, so I'm just like, I don't know, But yes, also you guys can follow me on Instagram and all that. I'm not sure if it's like YouTube where I have to if it's like YouTube where they follow me or I have to follow them back. I'm not sure, because I didn't grow up using Instagram and all that, so I'm still trying to get to know the platform and all that. Yes. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this. This is Surf's Up 2. Now for this title card here, I decided not to put Surf's Up 2 review, because I wanted to see how well it would do. I'm trying to experiment with my videos a little bit, especially if I'm gonna be reviewing, SpongeBob and stuff down the road. I want to see how well they do. So the name of the movie is not on the title card, but yes. But anywho, this is Surf's Up 2. So Surf's Up 2 is it's a 2016 movie. So it came out quite a while ago, not as long as the first movie. The first movie came out years ago. First movie was pretty good, not great, like, in my opinion. I felt like the movie was a little bit... The movie itself was a little bit, it had some problems, like, the character was a little bit unlikable, and all that, but he did grow as a character and all that, and I really did like, I did really like the story behind it and all that. It was really good. It was really good and all that. But again, it wasn't great. But that was my opinion. I heard a lot of other people do like the movie though, which is fine. It's their opinion. But then we get Surf's Up 2, which came out years later. And is it good? Is it good like the first movie, or is this movie like Sunken Treasure, where it sunk into the ground and got worse? Well, I hate to say this, but this movie is definitely not as good as the original. This movie, in fact, is definitely it took a big downside compared to the first movie. Where the first movie kind of has our main hero learning that winning isn't everything and all that. We have the second movie where they have to repeat the same exact thing. Yes, they have to repeat the exact same thing that he learned in the first movie. On top of this, they have these weird WrestleMania characters. They have these weird WrestleMania characters in this movie, that, and all that, and all that, and I don't know, they just came out of nowhere, by the way. They just showed up, at the beginning of the movie, they just show up out of nowhere. It turns out that our main character, which I forgot his name, sorry, I need to probably start writing these names down. I just haven't been thinking about that, but basically, though, he idolizes them, like Big Z in the first movie. That's basically, kind of that's what he did in the first movie with Big Z. He idolized him. So they basically are retelling the same freaking story they did in the first movie. Which, by the way, Big Z doesn't even appear in this movie at all. Big Z is gone. Apparently they mentioned him briefly, but apparently he doesn't even show up. He doesn't make a cameo or anything. He just doesn't show up in the movie. It's like he doesn't exist. And yeah, apparently one of the characters does mention him. I was looking it up, because I was looking up, why he didn't appear, because I was thinking maybe it's like Cars 2, where they kill off, Doc, and all that, because off screen, because his voice actor died. But no, the voice actor for Big Z is still alive. He's still alive. Yes, he's still alive, and all that. They just didn't have him in the movie for some stupid reason. Instead, they get replaced by these wrestling characters, which I do like their designs. Their designs are kind of cool as penguins and all that, but they basically don't. It just ends up feeling like a whole entire cash grab. It's all it feels like, more than a movie. I mean, if they're gonna bring characters in there, that's fine. But I'd rather it been its own movie instead of having it be a Surf's Up sequel. They could have easily just made a cartoon version of these characters, in a totally different movie. They didn't need to have them in Surf's Up. But apparently they wanted to cash in. They wanted to cash in on all this stuff, and it just ends up backfiring and all of that in their faces, and I don't know. I just find it kind of stupid, but yes, it's just kind of a shame, because I actually don't mind wrestling. Believe it or not, I don't watch it a lot anymore, but I used to watch it growing up, and it was interesting. I mean, it was violence and all that, but that's kind of how that's what made it so entertaining. You got to watch wrestling characters perform and all that, which is pretty cool, and all that. I mean, I haven't really said that before, but yeah, I used to like it. But I haven't watched it in a long time, but yeah, I remember watching it in the past and really enjoying it. It's just the characters, and the people that are just random stuff and all that, and unfortunately, I've been hearing they kind of downsized it over time. They kind of took away what made it so fun in the first place and all that by dumbing it down and all that. But the fact is, though, that they had all those interesting stunts they did and all that back in the day. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, I really liked it and all that. But the thing is, though, with this movie, though, is again they're shooting horn and out of nowhere, and again it's our main character, he idolizes them like Big Z. So it's basically undoing the whole thing the first movie did. Yes, it's undoing the whole thing the first movie did. Which is, him idolizing Big Z and all that. And it ends up being really frustrating. And also, for some reason, unlike Big Z, these guys still look like the same age. Yeah, they're still the same age. They're still the same age, despite them, being like, despite him also meeting them when they were little. So I guess all that wrestling must have really made them age quite well. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's kind of strange. And speaking of strange, apparently there's also a scene where the referee guy, who's apparently I forget what animal he was. He's not a walrus. He's a sea lion. I think he's a sea lion. I don't remember what kind of animal he is, but I think he might be a seal. Was what it is. He's like, apparently he's having a vision, and he's like, but he's having a vision, and he's having a vision, and he's like sucking a fish from like his or her behind. I'm gonna assume it's a her because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be a him too. I don't know, but because there's people. I don't know. I don't want to just go into too much detail, but it's just like I'm like how do they get away? How do they get away with this joke? Like, how do they get away with this? It's just like, I mean, this fish is like, it's basically he's having sex with the fish is what he's doing, and it's just like how do they get away with that? There's certain adult jokes they could get away with, but I'm just like, I was reading the comments on like the scene because I wanted to see what people thought about it, and the responses, and some people are like, well, they do adult jokes all the time, but yeah, but not this much, that's way too much. I feel like that's way too much. And Angry Birds had, I think, some of those jokes in there that I felt like was a little too much too, but at the same time, like I feel like some of those jokes in that movie were also, they weren't like too out there, but this joke is just way too out there, and I'm just like, I don't know. The fish doesn't make it like it too uncomfortable for me, but I'm just like, but at the same time, I'm just like this is supposed to be a kids movie and all that. They have that fish joke in there, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of just. And he uses the word he wants to milk a fish. He wants to milk a fish. So yeah, there's all that. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of just I don't know. But I heard a lot of people really do not like this movie, and I was really hoping to like it. But yeah, sadly, I kind of went into this movie and I was hoping to like it. Be one of the people that actually like the movie, but I just don't like it. I think this movie's definitely got a lot of problems in it. It's got a lot of problems, and it's mostly just boring. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the movie is just boring. Like, it basically just repeats what the first movie did and all that. It tries to do it in its own way, but it ends up backfiring and all that, and I don't get why they couldn't have just made a whole new movie instead of making a sequel to a movie everyone adored, and even I find some interest in it. Like I said, I didn't like it as much, but that was my opinion. But yes, the thing is though, yeah, the movie though, like, again, it's very boring, and yes, it feels like they just shoehorn like these wrestlers in here just for a bunch of cash, and yeah, I just feel like, yeah, I mean, like I said, there are some moments I do like, and all that I do like. There are some moments I do like in the movie. Like, I do like how they, like how one of the wrestler guys, he actually is trying to tell the main character that, winning is not everything and all that, and all that, which is true. It's not, and And again, he learned that in the first movie, but again, they shoehorned all this stuff in here, and it just feels like it just, it just ends up, backfiring in his face and all that. But yeah, this movie is definitely a bad, for sure. And getting 17 points. But the reason why it's getting a 17 score and not lower is because the movie, although it's bad, like it's really bad, I still really like the wrestling characters' designs. I think they did a pretty good job on it. And they do have some touching moments. But these wrestling characters they're just boring. The story itself has been repeated from the first movie, and it's just not funny. There's just not a lot of jokes in it that I really care about. Like I said at the beginning, we got the whole referee guy wanting to have sex with a fish or something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of. We get jokes like that, which, again, I feel like is inappropriate probably for kids, but, I don't know, but at the same time, I'm just like, at the same time, like, a lot of the other jokes are just not really that funny, and, I don't normally mind not having comedy all the time, but I do like movies that have comedy in them, but if there's sometimes movies don't really need comedy in them, but this movie would have been nice to have some really good comedy in it, and it just doesn't. All the comedy's kind of stupid. We got like one of this, like the long-haired wrestler with the hat. He basically talks about how he wants to always die. There's jokes about him dying and all that, and it's just kind of that's just kind of stupid. At one point, he freaking gets electrocuted by lightning, and I'm rolling my eyes, and just like, okay, but he's talking about how he wants to die throughout the movie, or making jokes about that, and it's just stupid. And it turns out the whole thing was a waste of time, because basically the referee guy, the sea lion guy, or whatever he was, basically, at the end of the movie, he turns around, and doesn't, retire after all. He was going to retire in the movie. He was looking for a replacement, but he ends up not retiring anyway, so it just feels like the whole movie feels like a waste of time anyway. But, but this movie is just not that great. It's really sad, because I actually thought the original movie did some really good stuff with it. Like I said, I thought it was alright, but it still did some really good stuff. This movie just does everything the first movie did, but basically redoes it in a worst way possible, and I just end up feeling, I just feel bad that they didn't include, Big Z in the movie and all that, and I don't know, but he doesn't appear in the movie at all, and I just end up I feel bad for him and all that, but I feel bad for the actor who actually played him, because he didn't even, I don't think he voiced any characters in the movie, so yeah, I don't know, but I don't think this is the worst Sony Pictures movie out there. I'd rather watch this movie any day over the open season movies. Those are all freaking just like flat out garbage. The third one, I've at least had something to it, but even it was not that great, so I'm at least glad that they at least, had some heart put into this, but at the end of the day, it just ends up, falling on its face, and it just feels like a complete waste of time. I mean, you're better off just sticking with the original movie. That's what I'm gonna do, and all that, and I'm gonna watch these characters perform. You got wrestling on TV, so there's no reason for this, but I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and probably end up letting things go from here. And yeah, I am sorry for delaying this, but I was busy trying to get some stuff done, because my grandmother gets up my butt about not being organized and all that, and I'm trying to organize, but at the same time I'm keeping up with the house, so it's really hard to do a little bit of everything, so feel like nothing's really good enough between me and her, but I don't know, but I'm gonna probably go ahead and letting things go from here, though, but yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this review and all that. If you guys liked the movie, that's fine. I just did not like it. I thought it was a waste of time, but we're all right to our own opinions and all that. And like I said, people really like the original movie, so that's fine too. But anywho, guys, see you guys all later, and I'll talk to you guys in the DreamWorks movie. Anywho, bye bye.